what I love to do, to encourage, to build up, you know, and to do the things that makes me happy and make God pleased. And so I wanted to thank our moderator for doing some of my business. Did you hear her? It's good. So maybe next year we can have her be a speaker. Do you think so? Yeah. But I'm thankful for every person who came out. You know, I know it's and see people still are coming. I'm thankful for people who thought it necessary to come out, because if I was here by myself, it would be very boring. Yeah, but see, they're still coming because when God appointed, because I was not going to not do it. Because when I say I'm going to do something, I don't think I set my mind somewhere and then we are going to have trials. So if one person comes, it's good success. If many persons come, we still have success. If it was me alone, I would say we didn't have success. But we have people. You're people, right? And I love being among people. And so I want to tell you a story. On the 25th of October, I started to get my, the theme going for the November parenting. And I said, Lord, I don't want to just do the ordinary thing that they're doing, the parenting for success and all that. And so I waited, and I heard the Lord said to me, parenting with a purpose. I did not know until I spoke to Sister Kay, because I'm asked to go to Geisel Primary School to do a parenting banquet to be the speaker next week, this Wednesday coming. So I said, send me the topic that they have, and she sent it to me. It says participation with a purpose. Okay? So when God is in something, how did I know? I didn't know. And so God wanted me to have this. And so because of that, I said, no way. Rain or shine, I'm coming. They will leave me alone. I'm going to come out and speak. And so I want to thank you all for coming. And so parenting with a purpose. It's a purpose that we must realize that because we're parents. Whatever you do in life, you must do it with a purpose. The Bible said, whatever we do is as unto the Lord, as not unto men or man. And so, today, parenting is with a purpose, brings passion to your life. Purpose brings passion. When you have a purpose in life, you have passion. When you have a purpose to get up in the morning, are you not passionate about it? You're a teacher, you're passionate about your students. So if you don't have passion in what you're doing, it means that something is amiss. So purpose brings passion. What is purpose? Purpose is an abiding intention to achieve a long-term goal. You must have an intention for your children, for them to achieve a goal in life. If you don't have that passion, it means that you're just mediocre, just there. You get up every day and you just get up. But you should have a passion, a purpose, and you should have passion with your purpose. This is what the word says in 1 Corinthians 11:1. It said, God, follow me, Paul said to Timothy. Follow me as I follow Christ. So my example is, and to your children, they will follow you. That's what they do. They're not going to follow somebody else out there. You are their number one guide. That's who they look up to. And I say to parents when they used to do the young ones, I say they don't really want to upset you. Sometimes they do things they want to make you mad. No. Sometimes it's just they want to be close to you, and sometimes they don't know how to behave in the sense. So we have to teach them. So they're not intentionally trying to make you mad. That's what I want to say. It's just them acting out in their own way. That's how they behave. That's where they're at. We'll get to that in a little bit. So, follow my example as I follow Christ. That is both meaningful and makes a positive mark on the word. Our job is to make sure the next generation is led in the right way. As we were told this morning, they are going to come and they're going to rule the world. But if we don't teach them and show them the way, that they're not going to. They're going to be looking around. And so we're going to get the part where we have to allow our children to make decisions. Because if they don't, then they won't be able to make choices in life. So it's a satisfying work. This is what the purpose is, to be satisfied with you as a parent. Remember the day when they were born and you were happy to see them, and then you just go so happy. What had happened? Why did you lose the love? Why did you lose the passion? Yeah? What happened? So we must get back to that place. It's a sense of purpose, means that dedicating yourself to a cause. Parenting is as she says, it's a job. I would say it's a job that is satisfying. You go out to your job daily, it is satisfying. It should be. A sense of purpose means dedicating yourself to a cause beyond yourself. Beyond yourself. It's a goal that fuels your motivation in life. It inspires you to make a significant contribution to the world. Yes, you're making a contribution to the world. Remember when my daughter was, she come of age, she was 12, or she was around 12, 10, when we went up to the United States, she was 10. And I remember when I want to do my hair, and I set it aside and make her get her hair done. To make sure she get her hair done. And then my nappy hair stay, I couldn't do it, but when I want my daughter to, so I made sure she gets her hair done. So I sacrificed for myself to give her what she needs. It inspires you to make a significant contribution to the world. Purpose brings passion to your life. Am I wrong? When you have a purpose, it brings a passion to your life. If you don't have any purpose, there's no passion. Have you ever seen some people get up in the morning and they don't have any purpose, they just wake up and they drag themselves? But when you know that you have something to do, you get a passion about it. And so, people with high purpose have passion for what they are doing. They are deeply committed. What is passion? Passion is a strong, barely controlled emotion. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, passion refers to a strong feeling of enthusiasm. I'm enthusiastic about it. I'm enthusiastic about coming to church on Sunday morning. I have a passion for Christ. So I make it I get zealous for doing the things of God. And so you must have that passion to raise your children right, to let them see them go in the right direction. Passion refers to a strong feeling, emotion, I said. Passion has to do with our heart. Yes? The internal fire that ignites us and energizes us to fulfill a purpose and do God's will. Without passion, you cannot get it done properly. Love is a passion, and you must love your children enough to see them succeed. God is the source of our spiritual passion. So parents, when you're parenting with a purpose, it brings out the passion in you. Don't you want to see your children succeed? I will fight for that. Yes. That's why I don't need to go to school, go fight, but I fight on my knees for them. That's a passion because you want your children to succeed in life. Becoming a parent is not a mistake. It is a beautiful thing. The life we bring into this world is special to God. He calls them his heritage and the fruit of our womb. It's a reward to us. So in light of this knowledge, we become people with a purpose. God gave them to you because that's your purpose now, to raise them with him. You have a purpose. God gave you children. He said, raise them and do it with me. This purpose is life is the desire. And your purpose now should be a desire to see the children that you brought out into this world prosper in life. If you don't want to see your children prosper, it means something is wrong. Your desire was to see them prosper, and you do everything to see them, get them to prosper. To see their children grow up to their full potential and fulfill their destiny in life. Parents, your children came into this world for a special purpose. Every child has a specific purpose. No two fingerprints are the same. God made them for a purpose. And so we must help them to discover the purpose. Don't try to change them and shift around what they're doing. You follow their bent. Some of them like to hammer and make, you follow their bent. If it's painting, follow their bent. Whatever you see them doing, you don't need to go fix it for them. You understudy them and follow them and help them to become the best of what God called them to be. No two persons are alike, so you don't compare them to another child. Never you do that. You know, see your sister who she'll do this and say, you know, I'm going to wrong move. We will stymie their progress. When we do that, we put a block in their way. Because as parents, they look up to us because they look up to us for guidance. So no two parents, the children are the same. Some of them, they came from the same home, same mother and father. They have different desires. It's okay. They behave differently. We can't expect them to fit in our mold because I remember the days of old when people used to have their children fit in their mold. You used to have some children who are left-handed and some are ambidextrous. They use both hands. But some parents will take out the pencil and use this hand. Let them come into their own. How do you know that the left-handed, they weren't born to be left-handed? You can put the pencil, what I normally do, put the pencil in them and see what they pick up. Because they'll pick it up the right way. And if they're wired to use their left hand, only one shift. Understand? So we have to follow their bent, watch them and see how they respond to stimuli. Yeah? and discover who God made them to be, and you invest in them. Invest means time, money. Invest in them because they have ability in them. And if you don't help them to develop those abilities, then they'll become dormant in them. So when you see that, you gladly attend to it. But don't jump in the way and try to do it for them. You get excited, yes, but you help them. And don't want to frighten them and make them get big-headed either. Yeah? So you know how to encourage the behavior in them, the activities. Yeah, that's what you want to see grow in them. It makes us better parents. When we learn, when we gain understanding of our children, it makes us better able to parent them. Being a parent, it is important to learn about your child's uniqueness and their different stage of development. Every development stage is different. You can't expect them to behave the same way when they were 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And when they start to change, you start to panic. They are just growing. Get some training and know what you must do because you have to grow too. Parents education seminar like this one is one way to help you to set reasonable expectation for children. I deliberately had those schools for you to realize that I've been doing this for years. I didn't just start it. I got training while I was abroad. We used to have to go to seminars, yes, to deal with the parents. Every year we have to complete 15 hours of training. We deal with parents and do our CPR, our first aid and all that, yes. So we don't just come like this. So even though I'm a trained teacher, we had to learn how to deal with the parent because unless you get to the root, you can't get the fruit right. But you have to learn how to deal with them. You have to know how to manage and handle people because you'll drive them away and you'll upset them when that's not what your intention was. So we have to be trained to how to talk to people. One way to help you to set reasonable expectations for children. You know, sometimes we set some unreasonable expectations for our little children. We expect them to do some things and they're not ready to do that yet. So you have to learn. Yes? Yes, no manual will come with it, but we have experiences. Yes, and they all operate in the same way coming. There's no black, white, or Hispanic, and they have the same needs. They need love, they need care, they need a roof over their head, they need discipline. Same thing. We are swords of the future, and our children are the ones who reaps. The condition and the shape of our children will be dependent, of our world will depend on the shape of your children. Yes? Whatever we produce, that's what the world is going to. That's them. This is who God, our parents produced. Us. Yeah? Some of us went through some tough times, some beating and all that, something that we were not supposed to, but it didn't kill us. But we have to learn now that this is not the right way. They did what they knew. But you have experience, we have open places now for us to take training. So we should use up these opportunities and take up get these training, and so we want to better for our children. What you do, just like, you remember the bad things, right? You remember I have an uncle that used to pinch me. I remember that. For what? He was mean. And I do remember. So these are things that children remember. So we have to do nice things. Uncle Son used to pinch the daylight out of me. I don't know why. If he hate me or whatever. Because he was brown and I was black. And my father is dark and he brown, so he wasn't thinking better than me. So I guess he wanted to get at me, pinch me. And I remember. I didn't think me don't remember it. I remember it. Preaching me for what? I don't know. So what you do to them now and say to them now can create for them a lifetime full of hurts or a lifetime full of joy. You must create memories with your children. Take them to places. Take them to the zoo. You have the zoo here. Take them to the beach. You're creating memories so they can have an imagination. They can have good memories. Because we all need memories. And if we don't help them to, you have to create. Don't be too busy that you can't spend time with your child. Can you hear there? Don't be too busy that you can't put up some time and spend it. This is for my children. It's important. They are children just once. When they get older, they're not going to want to be around. You know that? When we used to travel and take my son, the last time we took him together was when he was 17. They didn't want to travel with us then. So we have to just take the little love we can get. When they get bigger, they don't want to be around us. They want to be with their peers and all that. So we have to take the love and don't force ourselves on them. Yes? We can't force ourselves on them when they want a little bit of independence. You have to do it with guidance. You have to know according to their age how much leeway to give them, how much independence. But we must remember to respect them too. And with you learning to respect them and they respecting you, then you won't have that resistance there. Because when they respect you, they will do what you say when they get older. They're not supposed to obey you when they get older, but out of the respect that they have for you, they'll obey you. So you don't have to force them to obey me, because you train them up right. So let's start with understanding them. You need patience and they need time. Parents, you need patience and the children need time. You know why? Because it takes time for a behavior to change. It takes time for them to learn a new skill. So if you don't have no patience, go get some. Turn your back on you, but don't take it out on them. You need patience, parents, and they need time. Every child needs time to try out new skills, to try out new things. Sometimes you think they hit and miss, but they have to try again, and they get it. And so, no child came into this world being disciplined. Do you know that? They don't come in this world knowing to behave. They have to train, they have to teach them. They have to learn. And no child discipline himself can discipline and the child. Behaviors are learned as they can be unlearned. So any behavior that they learn, they can unlearn it, but you need patience with them. And if you give them and say, don't do that, child, don't do that, tell them what they need to do because they don't know. They have this behavior, what are they going to do with it? So if you give them an alternative, then they go for the alternative. One of the greatest difficulties in securing discipline for some children is the fact that it cannot be obtained simply with words. It takes practice. This is why it begins to form from birth. So it's not too late. Those who are having babies at birth, we start them early. Did you know babies can spoil their parents? Yes, they watch you and they fall, and every time they cry, you see them come. They watch you and they are spoiling you, you're not spoiling them. They know what that's because they don't know, but this is how the mechanism is built up for them to understand how the world works. So not because they're babies, they know they're forming little they're like little internal, what you call it now, patterns. So they say if I cry, then she come. If I bawl, then she come. She not, you see, because God made them to function a certain way. So this is why it begins at birth. The word of the Lord in Proverbs 23:2-6 say, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. Here is a timeline of the children's development. We're going to start from birth to 3 years old. The child has a type of mind that the adult cannot approach. Remember when you tried to tell the 2-year-olds to put up that and throw a big old tantrum? You never remember that? They throw a big tantrum and they drop on the floor and they do all sorts of something. The kid, hey, listen, children, toddlers and something else. But if you don't understand, you don't pull out your hair. It is a natural thing for them because you are interfering in their sphere. They're used to me. They want everything their way. So when you try to tell them no, it's and you take pow a toddler. What you beating the toddler for? They don't have the mechanism to understand. We have to train them. That is to say you cannot put direct pressure upon the child's mind. They will throw a tantrum. This is normal. The 3 to 6 years old, the mentality is still the same, but in some way the child becomes capable of submitting to adults. 3 to 6 years old, they're more easy now. They can submit. They say, "Come here, sweetheart," and they come, and they try, but they stop. And you don't have to give the pow. You know, they come easily because they are capable now to submit to adults' influences. During this period, their personality undergoes great change. At this stage, the child's intelligence itself is greatest tool, is morbid. And not only is intelligence, and it's known that children are the ones that are below the age of 6 and they didn't get the mental stimulation because they were not, and so they are not able to function the way they call them mentally starved. Because they have to be stimulated from birth. In different children, they have to get stimulation in different areas, and if they don't get it, they're like just there, like zombies. So these are children who are mentally starved, so they know how to order their conduct. They don't know anything, so they behave a certain way. And sometimes we see them among us, and we don't realize it because they did not get the early stimulation they need to function, to grow and to come the way. So they need to be stimulated when they're young. And so we have to look out for those signs. Our children need, God put them here for us to train them up. And we are to train them up with His Word. We're going to get that in a little bit. At this stage, the child intelligence itself is the greatest tool. And not only is intelligent, but the totality of his mental powers between the age of 3 and 6. Yeah, so important that age is. Yes, that's why it is important to have trained teachers to be with them at that age. That's why the government is investing in early childhood, because at the age, not the high school, the college years is the most important. These are foundational years, the 3 to 6 years old. So the 6 to 12 years old now, this is the older children, the primary. It is a period of growth. Therefore, the child's mind must be challenged. That's why they go to school. Can't keep them away from school because you can't challenge them mentally. You can't challenge them intellectually. The teachers are there and they're prepared and trained to do that. So we must honor that. So remember now, parenting with a purpose. You can't stop them from school and keep them home to go raise chicken. I will do something I will do. They need to go to school so their mental capacity can be challenged and can be developed. This is a period of physical, the 12 to 18 years old now, because I touch on that too. This is a period of physical, intellectual, and emotional. You must wonder how I know that too, because when I left school, we did a thing called youth service in Jamaica here, and I went to Kenilworth Youth Camp, and we were there for a couple months, and we got training because I had to work in the youth center with ages from 12 to over. So I have some training with them, I have some experience with them, yeah? So I have to understand their behavior too in order to be with them. I had a master teach over me, but we got the training, so we were shown that too, because when we're dealing with any person at all, you have to get some training or you will go to waste. You will either abuse them, you will either get frustrated and leave, but you have to get training. So at this age of 12 to 18 years old, the period of physical, you notice how they grow up and they get changed up, intellectual, they can wise up and they can maintain them brighter than you as parents. Emotional, social changes happen to them. They change, they have bust, they have beard and all that. They're changing, and so they're not even sure of themselves and they act differently. And so sometimes they be a little bit cagey, but if they have parents who are open to them and can let be a friend, this is the time when they need you as a friend. The before stage, you're a parent. But when they become this age, up to the age of 18 and on, they need a friend. They need someone they can confide in. So you shouldn't let them be afraid to tell you something. Little girls are going through their changes and they're afraid to talk to their moms because moms think it's a bad thing. And then they're having these issues and they go outside and ask somebody else. So know and learn more about your children's development so you can best help them to succeed in life. And in school, every child comes with a purpose in them. God puts purpose in our children, and as they were conceived. Remember, we talk about don't try to change it. Parents, consider this. Not every woman or man gets to be a parent, so you are very special. So take it specially and take it seriously. You're a special being. Being a parent is a blessing on your womb. On your womb, you hear me? He said the fruit of the womb is a reward. God is a reward He gives that womb. Not every woman bear children. Not every man can produce, get children. So it's a blessing. So if you are this blessed, do you want to not honor God by taking His heritage and do something good with it, or you just want to say, Lord, give me your mother. Lord, will your mother give me the picture? They're coming and you have to be there for them. And I really say to parents too, grandparents are not supposed to raise the children. The parents are the ones with the mental and the physical agility. You're agile. They need to run up and down and jump up and down. The poor grandparents, they get tired. So you're not giving the children what they need. They need that. So they have to, and that's why you have your children. So when poor grandparents and the child come and drag you all about and you don't have energy to go, but he has energy, or she has energy. It is okay. You can't stop them because they think like that. All right. Not everybody's going to be afraid of this. But we're going to get light before it's dark. We're time to go home. The Bible in Proverbs 1:27-3 says, "Lo, children are a heritage of the Lord." So we talk about that. The fruit of the womb is a reward. It's a reward to you. And fathers, in verse 5, happy. We have fathers here, right? We have 1, 2. How many fathers we have? Just 2, 3. 3? Yes, down there. The Bible says in verse 5 of 127, happy is a man that had his quiver full of them. Happy. when you have many children, especially in some countries, they love the boys because they carry the father's name, they carry forward. And God wants our young men to have that kind of attitude to have children. I had a workshop at the same Lincoln Junior High one year. I think it was 2000, long ago. And Gladys, what's her name? Gladys Evans, I think. She was SOCA. She was a police officer. She was over the SOCA, the Child Protective Services. So she was a guest speaker, and I did the devotion there. And she came and she talked to the fathers and let them know that the boys who wear their pants down here, what they're doing is they are preventing themselves from procreating. They are putting off because this you have to the belt holds up the loin, and so the loin is loose. So you watch those men, most of them don't have no children because they let go down here, so when they're supposed to hold it up, so they cannot produce because it's weak. You know what I'm saying? So the belt must be, when they wear the belt around the waist, is to hold their waist together, hold them up, but then find another way. So when we saw young men, we have to tell them, so it's not the best thing. So she brought them across, and that it was so. And she works with the teens and older folks. But it is so. The boys must wear their belt to hold their waistline intact. It's not a matter of wanting to look. Some of them, when they run, they can't even walk. And then coming to this, I don't know, but God. So, without Jesus in the midst, though, the thing is, as parents, you cannot train up your children the way they should go without Jesus in the midst. It was discussed this morning. Parents who were purposed to have these children, and your purpose is to train them up in the way they should go. Training involves correction. You must be able to correct them, not box them on the mouth. Because then when they get feisty until they say no. And it's okay. But you tell them to come here. You don't tell mommy no. You don't say that. Because you know what? When you tell a baby no, what's the first thing they tell you when they talk about it? No. They tell you no. And so, if you keep telling the child no, the first time they will tell me no. I said, what more you tell me? I said, Grandma. She said yes. The mother said yes, he's telling me no. Because that's what I tell him. So we can't get panic when they say that to us. They say they keep the feasting. They're not feasting. They just need to be trained because they hear you tell them and they tell you back what you tell them. And so it involves correction, instruction. You must instruct them, and discipline. You must discipline them. But discipline takes a different form when it comes to your own flesh. Realizing that it's your flesh. If you beat them, kill them with your flesh. They came out of you. You're beating your own flesh. You understand? You can take it which other way, because sometimes it's because our flesh wasn't under control while they are like that. Because if we talk to them, we take them from the beginning and put them under subjection, then they have to listen to us. Because they don't have anybody else to listen to. Yeah? We do time out in America. We put them in time out. Some of them, when they get in trouble, they run, go sit down in the chair. I say, wait, really? They're trained. And when the time out chair don't work, you find other things. Take away their gadgets. You have to learn to take away their what you call it now, their money too, where you give them the allowance. You have to find something, take away their bicycle, take away something from them. So they realize that when they behave, they get this. When they don't behave, they take away. And it takes time. You go back and forth with them. And they're strong enough to want to buffet you, but you're stronger than them. Encouragement. So never discipline your child without some form of encouragement because they'll think you hate them. You have to tell them, I love you. But I don't like what you did, so I had to discipline you. So they get to understand that if you don't behave, you're going to get a little discipline, but it doesn't mean that I don't love you because they think that you hate them. Parenting must have the purpose of seeing your child succeed in life. You must want better for them than you did yourself. You must want to see your children go further than your ancestor did. I want my children to go further than I did. Yes? I went to, I got my diploma through London Montessori Teacher Training College and others. But then my daughter, she went and that was a 2-year degree. But she went and she got her law degree. So I like that. So she can pass over to her son that he can go further. He can go get in doctor, because she's a doctor in law. They call it doctor of jurisprudence. So if the son can go further. So that's how we want to see our children excel. Our job is to want to see them go further. Yes? My mother couldn't read until school age, and must want better for them than you did. Your ancestors did. Your purpose must be to protect them from the agents of evil one. The agents, no, I said agents. You know like what agents are? The internet. Yes, sometimes we have to train them to use the internet, turn it off, put it aside. We cannot leave them alone on it. You must monitor their internet access. If you leave them like that, they are free to reign, and anything can just flash up in their mind. So the agents of the evil one, monitor the devices, know their friends. Parents, let your lips drop down sweetness to your children. You hear that? Let your lips drop down sweetness in their soul. It means you must speak kind words in their soul. All the while you must be trying to influence them, establishing trust with them. Influence your child takes discipline. Controlling your child takes threatening. You hear that? If you want to influence them, it takes discipline. And this you know. Controlling them, you threaten them. If you don't do this, I'm going to do this. I don't want to go into my precious coming up, so I leave it alone. Influence is done with words and action. All the while you are trying to mold them into the man and woman, men and women who will one day rule the world. That's our children. You and I are going to not be here one day, are going to rule the world. This is why you must get involved in everything they are doing. Everything. They're not too young to, because they don't live in their own house, they're not paying their own bills. So you can't tell me they can lock the door in there and just sit there, you know why they mean they do. No way. They don't live in their own house, they don't pay their own bills, so you pop that door open and go in there and then.
No, you can take off the door.
You ought not to take it right off. At your home, I have a friend in Houston who does that. She take off the door. Kevin lock himself in there in the wall and she take it off. You don't pay rent. You see, sometimes you have to get drastic. You're not hitting them, but you have to set your authority. Say, you don't rule in this house. So you must get involved in everything they're doing in order to help them make sound judgment. It means in school too. They need you to advise them. Parents, teach your children how to organize their conduct and their mental life. It means teach them how to problem solve. Early. Walk away. I don't like that. You don't need to use your fist and fight people. We don't do that. That's what you call it, caveman behavior. And it comes into the classroom. They too get angry, but you must teach them how